Hey everyone, D3 here from Brite Idea Scouting.com. It's another Scouting in the Park. Today is Scouting in the Park 061 as we finish out here on Friday. And normally at this time, I'm answering your questions for scouting stuff. But I've noticed this week we've had an incredible skyrocket in terms of the number of people watching and excuse me, listening to the podcast. So today, I wanted to ask you a question and to get your feedback as to what we should be doing here on the podcast. We're loving answering your questions. I just love it when you guys write in and I can come out to the park and answer, and we're going to continue to do that. But here's my question to you. In the last week, we've gotten pretty much triple the amount of people listening to the podcast, doing our audio podcast, which you can find us on iTunes or scoutinginthepark.com and listening there, or listening on the website at briteideascouting.com for each of the stuff. And so I'd like you to go to briteideascouting.com to the homepage, scroll to the bottom, and at the bottom, in the bottom right-hand corner, I have a survey. And I constantly do surveys for different projects and events that I work with throughout. And I'm putting a new one up, which is getting feedback on this podcast. I want to simply ask two simple questions. So if you can go out there in the next week, so before, say, the 4th of July, if you can go out there and answer two simple questions, probably shouldn't take you more than 60 seconds to help me out. Question one is, which format do you like? Do you like listening to the audio? Do you like listening or watching the video? Or do you like both? Do you download both? And then just depending upon that. And then also, what changes would you like to see as we start to move towards fall, as we start thinking about bringing the Academy online? And for those of you that may have missed other ones, come fall here, September 1st-ish is what we're shooting for. We'll see how it all gets put together, maybe sooner, maybe a little later. We'll see. So we're going to do an online academy. We're taking things like classes that you could take at Philmont, classes you're going to take at the University of Scouting, things that you'd learn at district and council roundtable events. We're going to be doing them. Full video, able to be downloaded, audio files of them, worksheets to help you. Because as we're seeing nationally, as I'm talking with people all over the country as a result of this podcast, you guys are busy. And so getting to University of Scouting, getting down to Philmont, getting down to stuff where there's master classes to help you get better skills, it's hard to get away. Our kids are busy. Our spouses and our friends are busy. We're busy. And so it's hard to get to even something as simple as a district roundtable. And so we're looking at bringing master class education stuff every month for you. We're looking at doing stuff for den leaders, cub masters, and committee members. There will be worksheets, tools, tips, templates, and some interviews and stuff. We've already talked about the other podcast. The Brite Idea Scouting podcast will be launching here soon with a bunch of interviews of cool scouting people. So I'm not the only one that you're listening to. So in the meantime, before 4th of July, in fact, do it today if you can. Go to briteideascouting.com, scroll to the bottom. We always have our recent survey section. It'll be the latest one. I want you to answer two questions. Number one, which format do you like the best? And two, what would you like to see come fall? So as we're trying to shuffle around stuff. Tentatively, as it is currently planned, and once again, your responses help change the direction of this, we'll be having the daily Scouting in the Park podcast in whatever format. I will say this, if it's just audio, it goes a lot faster for me, and I can get stuff out even more than we're doing now. Video takes a little bit long to process once I get back to the computer. So we're going to have the daily podcast of Brite Idea Scouting, a weekly podcast of interviews, and that's all it is interviews of other scouting influential people that have experience that, once again, learn everything you can, share everything you know, live the Scout Oath, Scout Law, that whole thing. So we're going to interview all sorts of people, from district commissioners to cub masters to committee chairs to den leaders, and den leaders at each level, so we can get expertise from people who've been in the trenches, so we don't have to reinvent it. And then the academy, online training and stuff. Once again, I am not associated with the BSA. I'm not paid by the BSA. I'm a dude, I'm a dad that likes scouting and just has a technology background to bring all this stuff together and stuff. And so for those of you like, National's doing this, I'm not with National. I'm just me. I'm just a dad who wants to share everything I've learned, and I keep learning everything I can from other people. So those are the three main components: the academy, online training, the daily podcast, here answering your questions, and the weekly interview thing. And that's what it is. But if there are other things that you're like, hey, I haven't even thought about, or get rid of that, I don't need it, sort of stuff, go to the survey, give me your feedback, and we'll take a look at that and stuff like that. So it's Friday afternoon. Get outside. Enjoy a beautiful scouting weekend, regardless of where you are. Learn everything you can. Share everything you know. Live the Scout Oath and Scout Law. And go give me 60 seconds of your time filling out that survey so I kind of know how we're planning things through July and August to get us all ready for the fall and a new Scout year. Take care.